Good morning everyone, this is Ekta Sharma and today in this video I'm going to recite a poetry and the title of my poetry is We Shall Fight, We Shall Win. I belong to India, the country which was ahead in every aspect. It was rich in its culture, heritage, weapons, food, traditions, everything. The country was developing and we all lived happily. But we couldn't even realize when all this changed so rapidly. One day, a calamity appears that filled everyone's eye with tears. Some people suffered from starvation, some have to leave their nation. The economy fell down, people moved to their town. Places of worship were closed. It seemed that it's just because of our own flaws. Nature and God both got upset. It seemed to be really a great threat. It felt like we were in a cage. How horrible was nature's rage. How horrible was nature's rage. We are corrupt, superstitious and weak, people say. We are corrupt, superstitious, weak and uneducated, they say. But whenever any difficulty arrives, we all come and stand together like a rock, no matter what comes our way, no matter what comes our way. It's hard to overcome all this maybe, and defeating it is really not our cup of tea. And defeating it is maybe not our cup of tea, but let me tell you, oh COVID, dear COVID, let me tell you that we have conquered the biggest fear, so don't you dare to come near and we'll surpass you, my dear, in the way that you can't be able to bear because we are still fighting here, because we are still fighting here. We may have lack of resources today. We may have lack of resources today, but we surely not lack strength and hope, and one day we'll able to cope with all the hardships, and that day is not too far when we will win this unbeatable war and when we will win this undefeatable war. And don't forget that it's the land of the great warriors who never gave up. And don't forget that it's the land of the great warriors who never gave up, and we are born and living on the same land and we grew up in the same sand. So we need to realize that we are the fighters and the survivors. That we are the fighters and we are the survivors, and we will win this battle no matter how this is fatal, no matter how this is fatal. And there's no such epidemic bigger than our courage and faith. And if we all stand together by being one, and if we all stand together by being one, is there something under the sun that we can't win? And before our unity, it has to run. And before our courage and faith, every difficulty has to bow, and it will become helpless to go. It will become helpless to go. Now it's for those who are taking advantage of this serious situation for their own sake by doing false activities. Let's try not to spread negativity among us all. Let's try not to spread negativity among us all and not let your values and morals fall. Don't befool people for your own sake. Stop doing activities that are really fake. Stop doing activities which are really fake, because you too are a part of this humanity, because you also are a part of this humanity, and you too will not be saved from nature's brutality, and you will be helpless and you will weep, because as you sow, so shall you reap, because as you sow, so shall you reap. It's true that we can't control some things given by nature, but here's what we can do being a responsible creature. Let's try to wear masks. Let's start wearing masks. After all, it's not that hard task. Let's stay home for some days. Let's not gather at places for some days, because it will help us in getting out of this phase. It will help us in getting out of this phase. Let's try to eat healthy diet, and you choose for yourself only what is right. Let's try to be a bit more hygienic now. Let's try to maintain more hygiene now, and by doing this, you all can be safe. Wow. And if you do this, you'll all be safe. And our country will be called a developed country again if we promise to help each other by not breaking this chain. And please don't panic and be strong. Please don't panic and be strong no matter how this tough journey is long, no matter how this tough journey is long. So let's promise today to fight against this battle, to help each other, and to take an initiative to protect ourselves as well as the people around. And don't forget that we are the fighters and we are the survivors. And if we keep fighting, victory has to be ours. We shall fight, we shall win. Jai Hind.